Snapchat and their scan feature, which is like an augmented reality feature. What it lets you do is sort of scan like a Coke can, for example, and it'll surface the nutritional info for that object. Um, and I'm thinking longer term, similar to what we were talking about with TikTok, this will open up more e-commerce opportunities. So, like, if you've got a product, you could people could scan it and then purchase it, or if your friend is wearing a cool pair of shoes, they can just, or you can just scan it and then um, get taken to a store. And obviously this tool's going to get better and better over time. But the best perhaps the best use I can see of this is in public when you don't necessarily know the person, sort of rocking like rocking a cool watch or driving a cool car. Um, this tool can really make Snapchat more relevant because it'll let you like essentially use it as, I mean, Google's got a similar product. I think it's a really interesting example of Snapchat as a social media company sort of branching out to be much more.
Mm. I, I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical. I feel like it's not going to help Snapchat too much. I feel like they're just a bit of a dying platform, to be honest.
I
Um,
think Snapchat's actually, as a company, it would surprise you. I also think that they're not doing that great. But from what I could see, last like their income, like their revenues, in the billions of dollars still. They have $5 billion, sorry, in total assets. So um I know they're now a publicly traded company and so on and so forth. So um, I think I do see what you mean in that I'm not sure how much it'll help, but there are some compelling use cases. Like, let me share what I'm looking at. Like this one here, you can scan like a denim jacket and it'll surface, where you can buy it from.
mm,
And wouldn't be surprised if Snapchat then gets a kickback.
yeah, I mean, if you're walking around, like you sort of said before, and you see somebody rocking a t shirt that you think's cool, but you don't know them, you can't approach them. Is it not equally as weird to just take a photo of this person and try to find the shirt that way?
Definitely. Okay. The real ultimate use case here is for something like I think they're called snap lenses.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate goal, where you're just wearing a pair of glasses that happen to have a camera
Did
inbuilt.
Google try that?
Google tried it. Snap's trying it. I think augmented reality is where it's at though. Like Mercedes Benz has augmented reality in their cars now. So when you look at the navigation, instead of just giving you directions, it shows you arrows, like so you know which lane to be on. That it overlays the graphics on a real world like image, so you can see literally as you're walking along. I think Google does something similar as well. So um, that this is I guess this is more for a future that we're not really in at the moment.
Yeah. I feel like
Um,
it's just one of those things like the technology is really cool, but finding the real world application that people will readily adopt is just not quite there. Because I mean, that's probably just from my personal perspective, because I can't imagine myself scanning stuff on a phone. Like, I don't think I'm that desperate to find out where a denim jacket's from. It's sort of like if I'm at a shop and I see a denim jacket, cool, I'll buy it. I'm not desperate enough to go searching for it, I guess. But that's probably just a personal preference rather than a representation of most people.
exactly, and for I think any company, they're trying to increase the chances of you purchasing something, and they're trying to build out this emotion within you that you really need something and you really want something. So, with that in mind, it's definitely more of a future thing. But I don't see why Snapchat still has a lot of users, so they have a lot of information about like what is being photographed. So it's probably one of the most used um, image sort of, or cameras, I guess, image taking devices, because Snapchat would still be up there with any of the other social platforms. And while the others aren't experimenting with this sort of thing, this is where Snapchat can start doing these sort of experiments early, and really like allowing you, if you're like, we were talking about TikTok before, but there are brands that are built on Snapchat. And so there's an opportunity for those brands, if you're not on Snapchat, maybe an opportunity for you to get into Snapchat, knowing, especially again with e-commerce, knowing that in the future, um, people would just be able to find your products by scanning. Because if enough people start using that and your products aren't cataloged on Snap or on Snapchat, um, you're sort of missing out. Like you're losing out there, at least a little bit.
Yeah, falling behind a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.